The Artemis mission, the next giant leap for humanity. About 50 years ago, during the Cold War, the United States and the Soviet Union were in fierce competition, particularly in space exploration. The Soviet Union was making rapid advancements, leaving the US behind. To reclaim dominance, US President John F. Kennedy announced the Apollo mission in 1962, aiming to send humans to the moon before the Soviets could. This mission was not just about exploration, it was a matter of national pride and technological supremacy. The Apollo program saw immense public support, and NASA scientists faced enormous pressure to succeed. The US poured nearly 4% of its GDP into the mission, an unprecedented investment in science and technology. The success of Apollo 11 in 1969 proved that humans could achieve the impossible, igniting confidence in American scientific potential. However, despite this historic achievement, the US did not launch any further human moon landings for nearly 50 years. One of the key reasons for this long pause was that the Apollo program was primarily driven by the Cold War rivalry, rather than a long-term lunar exploration strategy. Additionally, the Apollo missions were extremely expensive, making repeated moon landings unsustainable. The Artemis mission, a new era of lunar exploration. In 2017, NASA shocked the world by announcing the Artemis program, a new initiative to return humans to the moon, not just once but repeatedly. Unlike Apollo, Artemis is designed for long-term human presence on the moon. NASA aims to establish a sustainable lunar base where astronauts can conduct research, paving the way for future missions to Mars. The name Artemis comes from Greek mythology, where Artemis is the twin sister of Apollo and the goddess of the moon. This name connects the mission to its predecessor, the Apollo program. The Artemis mission will be one of the most ambitious space projects ever undertaken, with profound implications for global space exploration and US leadership in space. The US plans to build a lunar colony, supported by the Lunar Gateway space station, which will serve as a hub for astronauts traveling to and from the moon. By doing so, the US aims to secure a dominant position in space. As the first country to establish a permanent presence on the moon, could claim territorial advantages. Currently, no international laws regulate lunar land claims, making it easier for the US to establish control. Moreover, Artemis will serve as a stepping stone for future Mars colonization. SpaceX, under its Starship program, plans to send humans to Mars. However, launching missions directly from Earth to Mars is highly complex. Instead, the moon will serve as a launch platform, making travel to Mars much more feasible. Artemis mission phases. Since sending humans to the moon is a high-risk endeavor, NASA is executing Artemis in multiple phases. First, Artemis 1 in 2022, a test flight with an uncrewed Orion spacecraft, orbiting the moon and returning to Earth successfully. Second, Artemis 2, an upcoming crewed mission to orbit the moon. Third, Artemis 3, the first crewed moon landing since Apollo, where astronauts will spend some time on the lunar surface. And finally, Artemis 4 and beyond, establishing a long-term lunar base and preparing for Mars missions. NASA is prioritizing safety in Artemis. The astronauts' spacesuits are designed to sustain life for up to 10 days in space in case of an emergency. Additionally, multiple safety tests are being conducted to ensure the success of human missions. The technology behind Artemis. The Artemis mission relies on two key components. One, the Space Launch System, or SLS. It's the most powerful rocket ever built, capable of producing thrust equivalent to 302 F-15 fighter jets. It uses liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen for propulsion, and it costs approximately $4 billion per launch, making it one of the most expensive space launch systems. 2. The Orion Spacecraft. It's a crewed capsule designed to carry up to 6 astronauts. Similar in design to the Apollo capsules, but larger and more advanced. It's equipped with advanced safety measures, including an abort system to protect astronauts in case of failure. The future of Artemis. With Artemis, NASA aims to make lunar travel as routine as international air travel. Establishing a permanent human presence on the moon will revolutionize space exploration and unlock new possibilities, such as mining lunar resources, setting up space manufacturing, and testing technologies for Mars missions. Once the first lunar colonies are established, it will become easier to launch missions deeper into space. The Artemis program represents not just a return to the moon, but humanity's next step toward becoming an interplanetary species. So, stay with us on this journey as we explore the Artemis mission in greater depth and understand how it will shape the future of space exploration.